But you prejudged Quinton last week and asked him if he only dated white women. So you can dish it, but you can't take it, Keyra. Because what was the difference? So now you mad at what Marie said, which he has more of a reason to than you did for asking Quinton if he only dates white women. If you mad at Marie, you need to be mad at yourself for what you asked Quinton. That's all I'm saying. To me, it's the same thing. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, though. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandy Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandy Yvonne. Here at my channel, we do fun reviews, recaps, and discussions of all of our favorite shows over here. Y'all, it's Friday night, so you know we are talking owns, ready to love. They in Dallas, y'all. This is season 8, episode 6, titled Dates and Doubts. Before we get into anything, y'all, please help your girl out and click that thumbs up button. Also subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps to support the channel to grow so I can keep on creating the content. Also share the video where you like to share your videos and comment down below. Let me know what y'all think of this season. I feel like Ready to Love Dallas really don't got much love, but they got a whole bunch of characters and we about to get into it. So let's get into the episode. So the episode picks off with the ladies going down to the ladies' lounge to meet with Nephew Tommy. Nephew Tommy is like, hey, okay, how's, the process going for y'all? The man stepping up, are they showing up? They was like, some of them are, some of them not really, not doing nothing. We don't talk to the ones that's not really doing nothing. Some of them playing, okay? They're here for play. A lot of them are here for play, really. So Nephew Tommy said, okay, I want you to take the man out, and I really want you to bring up your doubts. What are some of the things that are coming up for you that could be doubts that you might want to address with your connections, okay? So the ladies are going to go on a date to discuss the doubts. And Nephew Tommy also said we are halfway through the process, which I'm like, dang, we're already halfway. Like, where is the love? Okay, so the first date we see is Phil and Aries. Now, this was the date I really enjoyed the most. If I have to root for anybody as a couple at this point, I'm going to go on and root for Phil and Aries. I hope I'm not premature in it, but that was the only connection I seen from tonight. Everything else is giving, it's not gonna work. So anyway, they went on a date. They both was wearing their black. Aries, you was cute, girl. Phil was just grinning the whole time. Phil seems genuine to me. At first, I wasn't sure how genuine he is, but he seems genuine to me. They said they've been talking and texting, and they haven't got to go on a date. Everybody kept saying they haven't got to go on a date with their top connection. So I'm like, production. Why y'all ain't even letting these people go on these dates they want to go on? Like, what is going on? So, anywho, Phil said they talk for hours and hours and hours with the champagne showers. Okay, so Aries brings up her doubts. One of her doubts is that she's concerned about, making sure she finds someone who wants to get married, who doesn't mind having kids, who's into all that. And so Phil said that doesn't bother him. Like, he's here looking for his wife. He's here. That's his hope, to find his wife in this process. And so he wants more kids, but they ain't got to be made from scratch. So if they got married, she has 2, he has 1. Now he'll have 3. Bada boom, bada bing, no problem. I said, okay, Phil. So she also said, does it concern him that she's been married twice before and divorced twice? And he said no, like it's totally fine. Like he's been married before too. He had a kid. He hopes to do better in his next marriage, and he hopes, he wants to be married. He wants to have family. He wants the things she wants. They want to, what was the word he said? Collaborate, cooperate, whatever word he said. They're going to come together, basically. And so he was looking at her, with them eyes. And she's like, why you staring at me like that? And so they were like, we don't know when we're going to see each other again. We have to go back to this long distance dating. And I'm like, that is not right. Like, Ready to Love. Come on now. Can they at least do some FaceTime dates or something? I'm sure they can FaceTime. But yeah, y'all need to set up more dates for them. Like, what y'all doing? So anyway, I know they got a story to tell. So that was my favorite date of the whole show for sure. Okay, so the next date we see is Keyra and Christopher. I don't see a connection here. Keyra's man is not on this show. Christopher can go. Okay. So Keyra said she saw him at the hoedown, but she didn't really know what all was going to be given. She said she thought he was going to be a hatfish, and he was, making a joke about it as well. He asked, they both asked each other how they're doing with the process and all that. He said he likes someone who is consistent and everything like that. You know, and then they got on a topic about doubting yourself, and he said he doesn't doubt himself. He doesn't have any insecurities. And she's like, wow, I've never met anyone that hasn't, you know, had insecurities. And he's like, no, he's just very sure to himself. And so then he started talking about how he went to school to be a doctor for a couple years. Then he said he got into fashion. She was like, oh, fashion. He was like, yeah, you know, I was modeling, so I did New York Fashion Week. Christopher, stop. Stop reading us your resume. You didn't go to school to be a doctor. You didn't do Fashion Week. Stop. That's why everybody was saying he was an actor, and I didn't want to believe it at first because he was cute, but he ain't even cute to me no more. He's really annoying. You are definitely a paid actor on the show. You can go, sir. And so then he said, you know, he likes to really, one of her doubts is someone, you know, not being genuine in a relationship, or, you know, basically kind of showing up with their representative in the beginning, not, you know, really showing who they really are. So he said he pays attention to what people like. And so then she started joking around saying like she like Birkin bags and Chanel. And he's like, are you finished or are you done? And so he was like, dang, like Birkin bags. Like this girl just asked me about a Birkin bag. Like, girl, I don't even know your last name. And so then he was like, dang, well, if I had a rough year, I couldn't get you that Birkin bag. And she was like, what? And so she said that really becomes an issue with men, because she said if he can't get the Birkin bag, she gonna get it herself. He was like, oh, you want to get somebody else to get it? She's like, no, I'm gonna get it myself. And she said that's been an issue with her with men because of finances and her being able to buy herself whatever she wants. And I guess men not being able to handle that. I like that you can buy yourself what you want, see her. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But, you know, sometimes you gotta let a man do for you. But if he can't afford it, you know, if he can't afford you, can't afford you, okay? So anyway, her and Christopher are not a match. Moving on. So anyway, the next date we saw, and I'm gonna go out of order, y'all, because it was a lot of little dates. I mean, it was a lot of little dates, okay? So I believe the next date was Jessica and Chris. So Jessica popped up on Chris, original Chris, at his job, construction site. You know, they're working on it looks like a really nice house they're working on. I will say Chris's job is his job, because he ain't going to just be at this construction site going up in somebody's house. So that's his real job, because I know y'all said Ready to Live people don't be coming on here with their real jobs, right? So he was like, oh, this is a pleasant surprise. Now I wonder, was he really surprised or was he playing surprised, right? So she brought him a lunch or whatever. And so she was like, you know, I'm here for a job. I got a job to do. I was like, girl, this is not a job. This is a date. I like Jessica, but she needs to bring down the strength in the room. Like she mean girl sidekick with her buddy Janelle. We're going to get into that at the end. So anyway, she said, you know, Nephew Tommy wants us to discuss our doubts. And so he got into his doubts right away. So he was like, you know, with you, you're very strong. You know, when you talk to your business people, you are very strong. But with me, you know, you need to speak to me softly, because I'm going to come, you know, you need to be soft with me because I'm going to come soft with you, because, you know, basically she need to bring down strength in the room. So basically don't talk to me like you talking to your business people. And I totally understand what he's saying. So she was like, okay, like she wasn't really feeling it. And so she said she's very direct in her communication. She want to say what it is, mean what she say. She don't want to say something in a softer way when she could just say what she say, okay? And so he also said that she's very direct and she could be very authoritative, and he don't really like that. I think she might be turning him off a little bit, in my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments though, right? So she then shared her doubts about him was that he wasn't really communicating, and he said he does get busy with work. He did admit to that he could do better in that area. He was like, but have you been calling me? You been texting me? And she was like, no, because I didn't really have your number. But now that I got it, you know, I'm going to use it. So he was like, okay, well, we both basically got something we can work on, right? Okay, so moving on. Then we had the date between Keyra and Herbert. And at the same time, we're seeing the date between Janelle and Quinton. I'll talk about Keyra and Herbert first. So Herbert came over to Keyra's house. I never saw them as a match, so I don't know why they were even going on a date, but okay. So he brought her dog over a treat. Her dog reminded me of Gina's dog from Married at First Sight from this last season, the Nashville season. Her dog Hank reminded me. Is that the dog's name? I can't remember the dog's name, but it looked like a similar type of dog. Anywho, so her thing with Herbert is that he's a really nice guy and all that, but he don't really be communicating like that. She told him to go start a fire. Dinner's almost ready. So then they sat down to talk. And so she was like, I like, a man that really pursues me and all that. But my doubt was you is that you're not really communicating and stuff, that you could be too nonchalant, which he is. This came up with the date with Janelle last week we saw. So he said, is he struggling with dating multiple people? It's hard to date two, three people at a time. So she was like, 2, 3, like how many is it? Because you doing all this. And so he said, no, it's just 3. And she was like, well, am I in that 3? Because you don't really be communicating with me like that. And he's like, yeah, you definitely in that 3. And I was like, you lying, Herbert, you lying. Because he likes Keyra, Janelle, and I want to say Aries. I don't remember you liking Keyra, but maybe you do. I don't know. So, no, he don't like Aries no more because she can't have kids. So maybe he do like Keyra. I can take that back. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about all that. So, anywho, he said he would do better with his communication, but he not. So she said they're going to do a little TikTok dance. It's like TikTok, but it really ain't TikTok. It was TikTok. Okay. So, they did their little dance. They was doing this and all that. He picked her up at the end. She liked that. She's like, oh, Herbert said in his confessional that, Keyra's real fun and flirty. It's a good time, but he's not sure if he sees a long-term relationship. She's just fun to flirt and play around with, basically. And that's what it is. And that's fine. Okay. So moving on to Quinton and Janelle's date. They meet up and they're both, again, like, we can finally go on a date. They tired of the group dates. She's like, I finally get to be with my boo. And so they're toasting to, just getting to know each other better. And so she brought up her doubts is because, he's significantly younger than her because she's like 41, 42. He's like 34 or something. He in his early 30s. And so she's concerned about their timeline. She's like, we're going to basically have to fall in love tomorrow, have kids, get married, have kids and all that. And she's like, in my age. And so he asked her, are you open to adoption? And she's like, yeah, of course. Like, I was adopted. So he's like, oh, I didn't, he didn't know that. I'm like, he didn't know that? Like, by now, if they've been really talking as much as they say they do, he definitely should have known she was adopted by now. I don't know. There's like, I see a crack in the foundation of Quinton and Janelle, especially after she did that live. It's something about it. Even though he seems very genuine, I'm not going to take that away from him. He seems genuine. He also seems like he's just trying to win and get to the end. Okay, because there's some comments he made that gave me you in it for the competition, Quinton, and that's okay. So you are not ready to love, and neither is Janelle. Y'all both in it for the competition, and that's fine. They probably got a pact. Y'all let me know if y'all think they got a pact in the comments. So, anywho, they were, talking about the whole adoption thing, and so, he asked, are your adopted parents white or black? And she was like, they're black. Like, of course they're black. Everybody questioning race in Dallas. They questioning it because it's Dallas, right? So he's like, let me ease your mind, like as far as, getting married, having kids go, it doesn't take long, to figure out that you want to do that. And that's true. When a man wants to, he really will do it, he ain't going to be him and hawing about it. So he was like, I definitely want those things. I'm definitely looking for those things. He was like, eventually we'll, get married, we're going to get married, we're going to have sex, we're going to fall in love. She's like, oh, we are? Like, that's news to me. And so he was saying, he's not worried about their age. They will deal with that when it comes. But basically, he's in it for the long run. He's like, does that ease your mind? And he was saying something about, he liked the group dates and all, but he liked the one-on-one better. And basically saying he was like, I'm better than the other guys. So that's what I was getting the competition vibe from, y'all. But their date was cute, whatever. Okay, so then the next date we seen, we'll talk about Kat and Marvin's date. This lackluster. Marvin, Kat was there asking each other how they feel about the competition and all that in the show, how they doing. And so Marvin said that he's had some friends in high school that used to play Power Rangers in middle school. I used to do the same thing in elementary school, right? And so he said they gonna do like one of them, what are them things called, y'all? Comic-Con or whatever it's called. So anywho, fixing this camera a little bit. So anywho, he said he making him a white Power Ranger costume because he like to do all that like crossplay stuff. They're gonna be at the at the Comic-Con, whatever thing's called. I don't go to that stuff, so I don't know. So she was like, oh, okay, I want me she want her a Harry Potter one. He's like, oh, yeah, we can make you a Harry Potter costume. You know, Marvin is just different. He very alternative, okay? So she was asking, like, you know, one of my doubts with you is, are you going to be able to be in a monogamous relationship? Because I don't like to share. So he was like, oh, yeah, most definitely. He said, you know, that's like stuff he's done so much in the past, and now he wants to move forward. He wants to have the relationship he saw his parents having. He saw monogamy growing up, so he want to, you know, get married, have that family, bada boom, bada bing, make it happen. This is what the tone he had was like, I just want Harry to have this family, because you know he want to have his son. Okay, we're not buying it, Marvin. Kat says she's not buying it. Marvin's very much giving answers just to give answers when it's close to elimination. He basically tell you what you want to hear, and that's what he was giving. Okay, that's exactly what he was giving. Okay, their date wasn't giving anything at all. It was a quick coffee before I go to work date. Okay, that's what it was. It wasn't even breakfast. Okay. So anywho, then we also see another date between Keyra and Marie, and I was like, why are we beating this situation with a dead horse? So Keyra and Marie go down to like an ice cream shop or something, and production was trying to make it shady when they was talking about white chocolate. I was like, y'all doing the most right now. So they sat down. He's like, oh, you like dessert? She said she like cookies, sweet potato pie. He's a homemade store-bought. She's a homemade. So he said he like banana pudding. His grandma used to make from scratch. She's like, ain't your grandmama ain't gonna make stuff from scratch. So the editing was horrible this episode on people. Will Packer, Nephew Tommy, the editing was horrible. So then they chopped it, and next thing you know, he's talking about, you know, being heavy in the black culture is something important to him. That's something he would want in his wife. And how does she feel about that? She said something about her daddy black, her brother's black, and for her, you know, of course, she's in the black culture. Like, for him to question that was weird to her. She made a joke about it, but it did feel like a slap in the face. She didn't appreciate that. She feels like he should be a good judge of character, but that's not, you know, basically she's side-eyeing him and judging him for him even saying that. And so he was like, you know, I apologize, you know, I'm straightforward, you know, I say things how it is, like, you know, that's fine. And so he also felt like it was a slap in the face that she even saying that it was a slap in the face for her, to even her bringing it up. He's like, I don't see a connection here. And my thing is, because she's kind of like, how dare you, like, say that? Like, I'm black. Of course, I'm in the black culture. Like, how dare you, like, she said, prejudge me, like, in that way. But you prejudged Quinton last week and asked him if he only dated white women. So you can dish it, but you can't take it, Keyra. Because what was the difference? So now you mad at what Marie said, which he has more of a reason to than you did for asking Quinton if he only dates white women. If you mad at Marie, you need to be mad at yourself for what you asked Quinton. That's all I'm saying. To me, it's the same thing. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, though. Anywho, moving on for the date, they ain't a match. Then I believe the very last date we saw was Lee and, before eliminations, is Lee and Marvin. I don't know why we had to do this date either. Lee says she's not really feeling Marvin like that, but she is, like, she's curious learning about his alternative lifestyle. Well, Lee, girl, what? For what? If you ain't with it, then why? So anywho, she was asking him, like, how everything's going with the process and the journey, how he's doing, how he's feeling and all that. He said he's doing good, learning a lot. Then she's asking how's his temperament, like, is he even killed? Does he have ebb and flows? And so he says he's pretty even killed, but he likes to be funny. He likes to do impersonations of movies and characters and things like that. So she said, what's your favorite movie? He said Jurassic Park. I was like, really? What's y'all favorite movie? Drop y'all favorite movie down in the comments. My favorite movie is White Chicks, okay? That movie's just hilarious. I could watch it all day. I know all the lines. But anywho, back to Ready to Love. So she was like, Jurassic Park, because he was like, yeah, I'll be doing impersonations from Jurassic Park. And it was like dead silence. And then he was like, no, the actors, not the dinosaurs. He's like, I'm not gonna be like raw. And so then I'm like, but what scene in Jurassic Park is memorable of what they said? Like I said, Marvin's just different. He weird. He different. So it is what it is, y'all. So anyway, she, you know, brought up the whole thing about Nephew Tommy wanted to talk about Dallas, and she was saying, like, basically the same thing Kat said, like, could you be in a monogamous relationship? Are you going to be able to put that other lifestyle aside and, you know, be able to move forward with somebody else. And he was like, okay, let me ease your mind and explain it to you. He said he's tried, you know, basically what he told Kat, he's tried it all before. You know, it's about pleasing the woman. He wants to do all that stuff, but it's centered around what the woman wants to do, and they could work it out together. And basically, like, whatever she's comfortable with, he's willing to do it, kind of thing. But it's not a thing where he has to have that lifestyle he's used to as far as the fetishes and things, because her concern it also is that, you know, what if he's trying to push those things down that he really wants and denying himself, but eventually he's going to want to do those things, which he will. If you get in a relationship with Marvin, there's no doubt, of course, he's going to show you the fantasy of the regular two-parent home. I want to have kids. I got to have my son. We got a regular life. But when it comes to the bedroom, he going to make you try one thing, then the next thing, then another thing, and next thing you know, you're going to be tied up in his basement, okay? He going to make you try everything because he wants to do it, of course. It's just like the book 50 Shades of Grey. That's exactly how it's going to go. You're going to be learning the safe word with Marvin, okay? There's no way around it, and he ain't got to sugarcoat it for us. Stop it. You're going to want to do all that stuff. You may want to get married, but you're going to want to do all that freaky-deaky with your wife. That's what you're going to want to do, okay? So anyway, Lee was not really buying it. She said the same thing Kat did. Like, he was just saying what he needed to say to get by. All right, so then we get down to the ladies' lounge where Janelle came in her goldfish fin pants realness, okay? And Keyra came in them black leather chunky boots with that black leather outfit, okay? Fashion. So they get down to the ladies' lounge. Just so Nephew Tommy asked them how their dates went, who they're feeling. I believe Janelle did talk about her date with Quinton and how well that went. He started off with Aries because Aries was grinning, and she talked about her date with Phil and everything when they went with that. They showed Kat's face. I'm like, Kat don't care about Phil. I don't see Kat making it to the end of this show. I would be very surprised if she did. But maybe she will. I might be wrong. They also asked, what's her name? Jessica. Jessica talked about how she popped up on Chris, and then Nephew Tommy was like, popped up. And she was like, he was very happy to see me. I was like, oh, okay, was he, girl? After you said you got work to do. So she said that, you know, they talked about their whole communication thing. And she said she also has some communicating to do as well. So then Nephew Tommy's like, oh, y'all both got something to work on. And she's like, well, not me, because I'm perfect. I was like, girl, you perfect. So Nephew Tommy's like, okay, here come the hard part. Who we not feeling? So Keyra talked about her date with Christopher, how she made a joke about buying a Birkin bag, and he was getting all offended and feeling some type of way like he wasn't gonna be able to supply a Birkin bag, so that was a turn off for her. Okay. Janelle said Christopher because he be running down his resume. Same thing with Aries. Christopher be running down the resume. Okay. Then a lot of the ladies said Marvin, Kat, and Lee both talked about how he just be giving answers to give answers when he about to get eliminated. Jessica said she talked to him on the phone, and he said he was a stag, I think it was the word. And that's basically somebody who likes to watch their woman have sex with somebody else. And Nephew Tommy's like, he didn't say that. And I was like, yes, he did, Nephew Tommy. He's into all of it, okay? That's why you was like, you're not going to marry somebody and turn it off all of a sudden. Like Lee was saying, it's not going to happen, Marvin. I'm like, goodbye, Marvin. So anywho, I don't think... Herbert, Keyra talked about her date with Herbert, how well that went. Anywho, then, you know, as we continue talking about who we not feeling, then Marie's name come up because Aries said he's like a homie, he's giving homie vibes. I believe somebody else said he's giving homie vibes. Keyra said that, you know, he's really into his, you know, activism and all that, and she just doesn't see any room for herself on his plate, okay? Jessica was like, well, I feel like he gives energy to the ones he wants to give it to, because like with me and him have talks, me and him do this and that, like we communicate all the time, we're good. Oh, okay, Jessica, okay, girl, okay. So then Keyra was like, yeah, I just, you know, for me, you know, that's just not gonna work for me. And then also, you know, he said, question my blackness and me being in the black culture. And every time he's like, but you black. And she's like, yeah, last I checked on black. And so for me, you know, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And so Janelle said, well, for me, you know, Mario, he's really nice. Every time I talk to him, you know, he's really genuine and he is pro-black, and that works for me. Now, for me, Janelle, this was not a dog in your fight because I ain't seen you connect with Marie at all. And we see next week she gonna be on a date when they have to meet the exes. And I was like, well, why is Janelle there? Because I haven't seen Janelle and Marie really talk at all. Now, granted, there could be scenes we ain't seen, and I ain't gonna take that from them because y'all know the editing of it all. But to me, that was not a dog. She didn't have a dog in the fight, in my opinion. Okay, so then Nephew Tommy goes back to Keyra. So Kira's like, yeah, for me, Marvin is not it. No, and she's like, oh my god, I mean Marie, like all the names. I'm trying to learn all the names. Oh my god. So she said Marvin instead of Marie. So let me know if y'all think she did it on purpose or it was really a slip. I think it was a both, like an accident and a purpose at the same time, like a Freudian slip, like a subconscious kind of thing, right? Also, that Keyra ain't checking for nobody on the show. She just want to be on TV and look cute and pretty and be pretty. So for me, I don't think she's interested in any of the guys on the show. I really don't think she's checked in. She's very much checked out. She's just there having a good time, okay? So I think that's also why she ain't checking for the names, okay? Because I don't be remembering people's names because I don't be interested, okay? I'm not saying I'm like Keyra, I'm just saying. I remember the names of the ones I'm really interested in, right? So over there on the other side of the sofa, right? Janelle and Jessica, they was rolling their eyes. They was shifting in their seats. So Nephew Tommy was like, I see a lot of eye roll over here. Like, what's going on? So then Kira's like, oh, it's because, I messed up the name. I said Marie instead of Marvin, or Marvin instead of Marie, whatever. So then Janelle in her confessional was like, Kira, every time, someone tries to make Kira take some accountability, she gets defensive. She does all this. And, she's really saying crazy stuff and all this. So Janelle was like, Kira, don't play with me. Do not play with me. Do not play with me. And so Kira's like, girl, what? And so then she was like, you are over here trying to, say these things about Marie, getting mad when you were over here questioning, perpetuating all these rumors about Quinton only dating white women. So you need to stop it. And so Kira was like, well, the thing is, Janelle, I feel like you've been very snarky with me. And then Janelle's like, girl, like, I ain't been snarky to you. Like, I don't need to talk to you. She's like, you've been very snarky. And so Kira said in her confessional that Janelle and Jessica have been mean girls to her and try to make her look dumb. And if you don't like them or be on their side, then, it's no good for you, which I believe is true. As much as Kira, you deserve all the smoke, I believe both things are true at the same time. Okay, now let me get there with y'all. So the girls is going back and forth, getting to it. Nephew Tommy trying to stop them, let Kira talk. Kira's like, you've been, both of you girls have been like, you've been mean girls towards me. Jessica said when it comes to blackness, you have been saying like, you're black, but you don't want it too much black, basically, when it comes to things. Also, Janelle called her out on saying how she feels like, when she made the Quinton comment, and then she said she's the closest thing to whiteness, like it's a badge of honor. Like, girl, what is wrong with you? Girl, what is wrong with you, right? And so, and then Jessica, like I said, put it the way she put it. And so, like I said, the girls were going back and forth, and Kira's like, well, you guys are just mean girls, and I'm just saying, like, what my experience was and all that. And so Nephew Tommy stopped them and said, okay, we don't gotta like each other. Y'all not here to date each other, but we do gotta respect each other. I believe both sides are wrong. Jessica and Janelle are mean girls. Janelle's mean girl number one. Jessica's mean girl sidekick, okay? And also Kira did sound stupid with the comments she made about Quinton dating white people and how she's the closest thing to whiteness. Like, both things are true for me, so I don't have a side, okay? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Both of y'all sound stupid and ignorant at this point. Jessica, you a mean girl as well. You're giving mean girl teeth, okay? We're watching you. Bring down the strength. Chris ain't here for it, girl. So Janelle was like, listen. And so then Janelle, to me, when you make her mad, she goes to hell with you, like Marlo. So Janelle was like, first of all, let me tell you something, sweetie. Like, I don't ever have to talk to you. I will not talk to you. You will not talk to me. And she just going off, and I was like, girl, what? Like, how did it get to that? Like, how did it get to that? She was going off on Kira. And that's before Nephew Tommy stopped him. So anyway, Nephew Tommy said, okay, we got to do. And so then he took out his baseball. He said he got a curveball. It's 2 men going home tonight. And I was like, thank you God, because I already know who we need to send home. Okay, so we have Kat taking Marvin out on a date. We have Keyra taking Christopher out on a date, and we have Lee taking Marié out on a date. Now, Marié and Marvin was worried because they know that the women had just deliberated, and it was elimination time. Christopher was happy to have a date with Keyra. I was like, do you not know how the show works, Christopher? Because you going home. So those are the people I wanted up for elimination personally. Marié, I wanted to stay. So Marvin and Kat go on a date, and she lets him know what the lady's been saying. You are not ready to love. It was nothing to give there. So Lee told Marié, you know, the ladies are really getting the homeboy vibe from you, and that's what it is. So he was like, oh, being put in a friend zone, that's a whole different thing. And so she's like, you're not being put in a friend zone, they just getting homeboy vibes, okay? Some could argue there's no difference, and some could argue there is a difference. Okay. So then she also said there's also been some feedback that you said that one of the ladies, you know, not really into their black culture like that. So he laughed and he's like, yeah, I know where that came from. And so she's like, but ultimately we feel like, you know, you are ready to love. And so Marié said he gonna try to, you know, strive to work harder. So then we saw Christopher and Keyra, right? And so he was happy to have the date with her. He said they have a lot in common. I could see that. So Keyra told her about her doubts, and she was like, I just want to make sure, you know, you mean what you say, you're being genuine. She's like, he's like, what you mean, like I'm a player or something? She said, you could be a smooth talker, okay? And so she begins to tell him what the lady said about, you know, it sounds like you are just telling the ladies what they want to hear, like you're running down your resume and all that. And he's like, what they say? And so then he's like, well, what else did they say? So she's telling the ladies how they're, you know, everything that the ladies are saying, how you don't seem genuine and all this stuff. So he was like, and that you're just telling them all this stuff about them, you know, how he walked in New York Fashion Week, then he was a doctor. They showed the clips production did. You wrong, Christopher. He was talking about how he owned a business, how he owned acres, how he didn't walk to Mulan, how he didn't did Fashion Week, how he was a teacher, a doctor, a fireman, a police officer, okay? So he was like, well, you know, if people want to get to know me, like, I got to tell them who I am and all that. So she's like, ultimately, you are not ready to love. Okay, so now I said if anybody going to show their ass when they get eliminated, it's going to be Christopher. So Christopher said in his confessional, you know, he was nice right there with Keyra. He's like, you know, I wish the best for everybody in their journey. So in his confessional, he's like, man, I don't even understand. Like, these ladies talking about I'm not ready to love and I wasn't being genuine. He's like, they wasn't being genuine themselves. He's like, one of the girls going to ask me for a Birkin bag, but she over there taking Uber. I was like, sir, first of all, those things are not equivalent. Second of all, people who have cars take Ubers. Taking Uber don't signify you poor or broke or anything like that. So what are you talking about? Like, why are you trying to read the girls? Like, goodbye, sir. Go home. So Marvin and Christopher went home. Those are the two people I was ready to see go. Okay. Do y'all think they're going to send two ladies home next week? They got to meet the exes next week, y'all. So it's going to be a good episode. This episode was good, you know, mostly at the end. But the dates were cute. I'm glad we got some one-on-one dates finally. Anyway, y'all, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I will talk to y'all probably tomorrow or Sunday about Love and Marriage Detroit. See y'all later. Bye.